Question number 3, in the AJC today, an article reported that revenue collection was strong and encouraging. In light of that, tell us what your budget priorities will be for the next session.
Well, I think I wasn't surprised that the revenue is as well as it is doing as well as it has, because of Governor Kemp took a strong stance and reopened the economy. He was a lighthouse state for the rest of the country. Moving forward, I think as long as we continue to generate that revenue, and we should have a healthy budget. But the priorities always, education, agriculture, first responders. We've got to take care of those areas in the budget, and those would be my 3 priorities moving forward.
And to you, Ms. Daly, the question, in the AJC today, an article reported that revenue collection was strong and encouraging. In light of that, tell us what your budget priorities will be for the next session.
Definitely back to education. And I've listened all evening, and it's been enjoyable to hear the candidates speaking. And the Republicans have reminded us that they didn't furlough the teachers. Okay, but they slashed the budget major by $1 billion, almost $1 billion, with a B as in boy. And so I keep coming back to, you want to help us, but in education, we rank 30th. Well, that's better than we do in healthcare, but in the nation, we rank 30th in education. And everybody knows we've got to give our children the tools so they can compete in the global economy. And whether you want change or not, it's coming to all of us. So my comment is, let's take a look at the education, but also we must stop just cutting. As a businesswoman, I've identified opportunities where we can bring in money. That's how you balance a budget in your home. You cut, but you find an extra job, or the kid gets a paper route. There are ways for us to bring in money, but that hasn't happened. And I'd like to discuss that further. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Daly. Any rebuttal, Bo?
Well, I'm with Dee. I think education is extremely, extremely important. The legislature had a hard decision. Originally, when the pandemic first hit, we thought we were going to have to cut 17% from the budget, and it decreased to 14%. Which anytime you have to cut, it's especially from an education budget, it's not good. But you can't. We only have so much money in the state, and when you're fiscally conservative like we are in this state, it puts you in a position to where we're going to bounce back from this pandemic faster than most states. Number one, we have a rainy day fund that Governor Deal set up. Number two, we're fiscally conservative, and I know how hard it was to slash these items in the budget, but hopefully, if revenue continues to generate and we're able to bounce back and support our small businesses and get that revenue back up, we'll be able to fully fund QBE again and get back to where we were last year for the next budget.
Thank you, Bo. We go to question number 4, the final question tonight for you guys, to Ms. Daly. We've heard several ideas about improving rural access to broadband internet. Can you tell us what your approach would be to take care of this problem?
Well, I just heard Pete Cleveland, who's running over in the Jackson area, and Pete Fuller, excuse me, and I totally agree with him. Our government has to have the mojo, shall we say, to make this happen. We've been kicking this can down the road for years. If I'm your senator, I'm going to go in there and use my analytical abilities, my coalition skills abilities, my ability to bring people together and work with private industries and the government to get a plan to solve this. So I have to say, I don't see the plan. I've researched it from the state, and they've put, I think, $2 million out for analysis, and analysis is a good thing, but this is going to be a long-range investment, just as we've done.
Lost you there. Sorry for the sound issues, everybody listening in.
It looks like she might be muted.
Did you? Oh, she is muted. Yeah. Take yourself off mute. Not that she can hear me, but yeah. Thanks.
I did it.
Okay.
What I'm saying on this broadband, I hope you heard me when I said they've been kicking this down the can for a long
Right.
time.
Uh-huh.
The Republicans have been in office. They are exclusively in office. They are the majority. I think it's time for a change. I think we need a few people like me in there to mix it up, to build coalitions, to think of some different ideas, and not just to go back to the same, we're number one for business. Because number one for business is not helping me with this internet that I'm trying to use right now that's going in and out. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Hatchett, we've heard several ideas about improving rural access to broadband internet. Can you tell us what approach you would take to this problem?
Well, I think we have to increase competition, and honestly, you know, with a lot of these issues with healthcare, with broadband, a lot of people think government needs to step in and be the answer. But you know, for business and for you know, the people, I think having, you know, private companies compete, you know, help and use the government to help support them with either tax credits or whatever needs to be done. But you know, we saw during this pandemic how important broadband is, and it's more important now than ever with you know, with the coronavirus. And you know, it's amazing how far we've come in the past 20 years, especially in rural Georgia. But you know, with broadband, with cell phones, you know, when you're campaigning in 8 counties and you're driving up and down, you know, the road from Hiawassee up to Clayton, where, you know, I think these, I know you're from Raven County. I think you said Clayton.
Yes.
You lose cell service a lot. And you know, figuring out a way to improve that without ruining the scenery, figuring out a way to deliver broadband into homes so, you know, kids can, you know, get online and continue to learn. I think that's the most important thing. And I'd like to make that a priority if and when I'm elected.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hatchett. Any rebuttal, Ms. Daly?
Well, it sounds like we're hitting on the same page. If I get there, I'll work on it. If Bo gets there, he'll work on it. The thing is that we have to, it's a balance. It's not just all private. It's not just all government. It's a partnership. And I heard somebody speak earlier and they said, then get the government to play hardball with these providers so that these fees are not exorbitant, and find a way to get some grant money from the government and find a way to expand in a way that doesn't hurt our, as Bo mentioned, the beauty of our area. So that's what I had to say on that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Daly. Closing statements, Mr. Hatchett, you go first.
Well, first off, I apologize for the technical issues earlier. I'm glad we got it resolved, and I've enjoyed this. Thank you guys for putting it on. It was nice to meet you, Dee. I look forward to continuing another debate at another time. But once again, my name is Bo Hatchett. I'm a Republican. I'm an attorney, a small business owner from Habersham County. I've lived here all my life. And you know, I'm going down to fight the rising wave of socialism that's coming through our country, to stand up for our rights, and to be a voice for the people. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe the founding fathers wrote the Constitution in a way that guaranteed our rights. And you know, I'm ready to fight for them. Ready to fight for you and fight for the people. If you have any questions, you're welcome to call me directly. My number is 706-499-6941. I humbly ask for your vote tonight. Early voting starts soon. Election day is November 3rd. Please get out, call your friends, make sure they go and vote. This is a very important time, and we all need to exercise that right and let our voice be heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hatchett. Your closing statements, Ms. Daly.
Again, thank you, and it's been great to meet you, Bo. Appreciate it, and appreciate the fine race you're running as my opponent. As I think about my closing statement, I'm going to come back to the things that I would do if I were the state senator in terms of the budget, because really balancing the budget, which is a requirement by law, is one of the biggest jobs we have as legislators. And I would be saying things like billions of dollars that we don't get from the federal government via a Medicaid expansion. We don't get that, but 39 other states do. Medicaid expansion, I can't explain it in a 2-minute wrap up, but I'm a businesswoman, and what I can say is that 39 other states have accepted money from the state government, from the federal government. Money that, some of that money is what we sent to the federal government. But our governor, the present governor and the previous, said, no, we don't want that money. There'll be strings attached or something. Well, it's just so unwise, because it would bring us so much money, billions. It would bring us jobs. See, I sound like a Republican. It would bring us jobs. It would be good for us. So this not expanding Medicaid, really, I don't get how it's a conservative value. The government, let's say it's a $10 bill. The government will pay $9, the state pays $1. So we get $9 and we pay $1. A little bit, I did not mention, I am a certified process improvement engineer, which means I work with large companies, and I work internationally, and my whole focus is to bring teams together, coalitions together, use your brain, have some common values, understand them, and don't just stick to a certain dictum. We've got to shake it up in this state. I'm asking for your vote. My name is Dee Daly. Everybody wants to put an I in it, like Daily News, but it's not. It's just DALEY. And my website is ddaily2020.com. I'm asking for your vote. And more important, I'm asking for you to reach out to me through my website, and you'll see my phone number there. And we will be glad to carry on and talk some more. And I'd like to thank the group this evening for dealing with the technology. Bo, it's happened to me many times, so nothing new that it happened to you. And I just feel we can do better, and I think we need more balance. And I think that means we need some Dee Dalys in the state Senate. Thank you.